Good morning, Miss Alexander. Ma'am, you're charged with the offense of driving while intoxicated. It's elevated to a Class A misdemeanor because of the high blow, so you are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You are Janae Alexander?
Janaya,
Janaya? So you're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you. Okay.
on March 22nd, 2025, an officer responded to a minor traffic incident. Upon arrival, the officer met with the wheel witness officer who stated that he was conducting a safety control of a disabled 18-wheeler on the shoulder with his emergency lights activated. The officer stated that he was on the shoulder when he was struck on the driver's side by the defendant's vehicle. After the crash, the officer observed the vehicle to continue to travel southbound. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle, and immediately detected the strong odor of alcohol upon her breath and slurred speech. The defendant exited the vehicle, and the officer observed unsteady balance. The defendant admitted to consuming alcoholic beverages prior to driving. The affiant officer made contact with the defendant and observed the same signs of intoxication. The defendant stated that she was on her way home from a bar and consumed 1 minute's drink at 9 p.m. The defendant stated she was unaware of when she struck the patrol vehicle. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN. 6 out of 8 clues observed on the walk-in turn. 2 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to a breath test. The results were 0.202 and 0.201.
Any prior DWI? And
No prior, Judge.
license?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Ms. Alexander, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. Do you understand? Ma'am, look at me. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well for you. I'm not asking much from you. If you do not have a valid Texas license and liability insurance in your name, car insurance, you're not allowed to drive. That is also a condition. Do you understand? How old are you, man? You,
23.
do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? Would you like to apply for a court appointment?
I don't have, I need one.
Okay. So Deputy Miranda is going to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt. Victoria will have you take a seat in the jury box while you fill it out. You will meet with pre-trial bond conditions, and then I'll have you talk to someone here shortly. Okay? Yes. Are you Victor Ortiz?
No, Judge.
No, this is Osman Rodriguez.
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to a year in jail and or $4,000. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you.
On March 21st, 2025, an officer responded to a two-vehicle accident that occurred near the 5,000 block of Bingle Road. The complainant stated that she had made a right-hand turn northbound on Bingle Road and was already traveling northbound when she was struck on her driver's side by a white van. The complainant identified the defendant as the sole occupant and driver of the striking vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant and observed red, glossy eyes, the strong odor of alcohol upon his breath, and sweat. The defendant stated he consumed 2 beers, one at work and one in his vehicle as he was driving home. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN. 2 out of 4 clues on the one-leg stand. 3 out of 8 clues on the walk-in turn. The defendant consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were 0.160 and 0.177.
Did they find alcohol in the car? Substantiate that allegation.
Doesn't state in the bill, Judge.
Does he have a license? And any prior DWIs?
He does not have a driver's license and no prior DWIs.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. If you do not have a Texas driver license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. That is a condition of your bond. I will have you sign with me today a promise to me that you're going to make. This is an affidavit that I take absolutely serious. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if you have a bunny that needs operating. If I find that you drive, it's not going to go well for you. I don't know what your immigration status is, but if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until this case is over with, and then you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand? You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication, and you will be randomly tested. If I find that you're consuming, likewise, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. No more PR bonds for you. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. Mr. Rodriguez, it is your responsibility to stay in touch with him. If Mr. Salinas tells me that he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, you pick up a new case, you endanger my community, I will put you in jail. For now, I'm going to have you come up here and swear to us that you're not going to drive. I will get you to Victoria. We will have you sign a reset. And then after that, I will get you with pretrial. And then after that, you're free to go. Come on.
Yes.
Mr. Sierra, you're charged with racing on a highway. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 23rd, 2025, an officer observed a vehicle engaging in a legal street race at the 12,425th block of Wood Forest Boulevard in Harris County, Texas. Both the defendant's vehicle and another vehicle passed the officer at a high rate of speed while attempting to pass each other in a competitive manner in an attempt to outdistance each other. The officer observed the defendant drive 96 miles per hour in a 40-mile-per-hour zone. A traffic stop was initiated. The defendants began to pick up speed while swerving through multiple lanes and cutting off other drivers on the roadway in an attempt to outdistance each other. The defendant admitted to speeding but denied racing. The co-defendant is a juvenile.
You want his license, see if he has a license.
Yes, Judge. He does not have a driver's license on file, Your Honor.
Mr. Sierra, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. You do not have a Texas driver license. You are not allowed to drive. I'm going to have you sign with me today an affidavit, a promise that you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. If I find that you drive, I will put you in jail. And if you're not in this country with permission and you go to jail, it's very possible immigration puts a detainer on you and you will be in there until this case is over with. How old are you, sir?
20.
Did you want to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
Yes.
Look at me. Heed this warning. You get no more. If I find that you're a danger to my public in any way, I will put you in jail in a moment's notice. Do you understand? Think before you act. You hang with the wrong people, it's not going to go well for you. Come on. All right, Mr. Wong, you're charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 18th, 2025, an officer was dispatched to a call for service in reference to a major crash. The witness stated that he observed the defendant sitting in the front driver's seat behind them and crash into another vehicle by rear-ending it at the 9,000th block of Bel Air Boulevard. The witness stated that he observed the defendant was driving recklessly prior to the vehicle crash. The officer observed a strong odor of alcohol emitting from the defendant's breath. slurred speech, glossy eyes, and slightly unsteady balance. The defendant admitted to consuming an unknown amount of alcohol. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 food was served on the HGN, and the defendant was unable to perform the walk and turn test in one leg stand due to a past ankle injury. The defendant consented to provide a breath specimen. The results were 0.123 and 0.122.
How many prior DWIs have you run in NCIC?
Yes, he has 1 prior DWI.
Here, anywhere else, anything else? No? Okay, license,
I can check.
He does have
please.
he does have a Judge John Wall.
Right. That's who it needs to be, not Andy.
His driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Wong, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case, and I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I'm going to put you in jail. No more PR bonds. I am now also placing another restriction on you because it's a second offense. I'm ordering you to obtain an ignition interlock, and you're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have one. If you're caught driving a vehicle that doesn't have one, you will go to jail. Do you understand? I'm sending notice to DPS in Austin so that every single officer in the state knows. You understand? Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance so you don't have to waste your time coming to court, but you must stay in touch with the other Mr. Wong and he'll tell you if and when you have to come back to court. For now, I'll have you go to Victoria, sign a reset. You'll get with pre-trial for your bond conditions and then you're free to go.
Just June 3rd through the 5th.
Mr. Wong, did you hear that?
Yes, I did. Your Honor, I just have one question. The vehicle that he is driving to and from
Oh,
work.
is that what
he
you were
also-
about to say? Come on up. So,
It,
what we will
the
do-
ignition. I'm sorry, Judge. Go
is
ahead.
it inoperable, I guess?
It's inoperable at this time. We don't even know if it's going to be repairable. But the point I'm trying to make is that the vehicle that he drives, he shares with his mother. So I don't know if that with the ignition, the system, if that's going to be something that.
You're not allowed to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock on it. So if you're going to drive
Okay.
mom's vehicle, it has to have an interlock on it. And that's it.
Okay. That's
Also
just
get a
okay.
portable.
No, I don't want you driving any vehicle that doesn't have an interlock. I mean, I want to make
Okay,
sure that if you get in the car, there's no alcohol on board. That's it. So
Okay.
if you want to get a portable device and you're telling me you're not going to drive, I'm going to have you sign an affidavit promising me you're not going to drive. So, you know, whatever vehicle you put it in, or if you're going to drive, okay, you got to have one. You make the decision. If
Judge.
you want me to give you a portable device, I'm happy to do that, but you're going to promise me you're not going to drive it.
Okay.
So I guess, just let them know what you want to do. I mean, if you want to take time to think about it, you know, I'm happy to give you time as well.
Yes,
Um,
Judge, that would be great. Let me confer with my client and then we'll
yeah,
decide.
so, you know, go
Okay.
outside, step outside, you talk, and then, when you make your decision, just let us know. Okay? While intoxicated, you're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you.
On March 20th, 2025, at approximately 9:24 p.m., officers observed a black Chrysler traveling southbound on Kinswood Drive, noting that the rear license plate was not illuminated, making it difficult to see, and a traffic stop was initiated. Upon activation of the emergency equipment, the motor vehicle accelerated rapidly. Based on a loud sound from the motor vehicle's exhaust and speed which it was traveling, the officer believed that the driver was attempting to elude. The motor vehicle made a sudden right turn into a private drive and continued before coming to a stop. The officer made contact with the defendant, who was the driver, and also made contact with the front passenger, who was identified. The officer observed a strong odor of marijuana. The defendant was detained due to furtive movements inside the vehicle. The officer observed multiple open container beverage vehicles, including 4 Loco and Buzzball cans in plain view in the rear passenger area. The officer observed a black bag in the front passenger seat with a 9mm handgun and a green leafy substance inside. The substance was identified as marijuana due to the officer's training and experience. The defendant admitted to possessing both the handgun and the marijuana. The officer observed slurred speech and a strong odor of an alcoholic beverage on her breath. The defendant stated that she consumed one alcoholic beverage at approximately 9 a.m. The defendant performed SFSTs. The HGN was a 6 out of 6. The walk and turn was a 7 out of 8. And the one leg stand was a 1 out of 4. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath, which the results were a .121 and a .116.
Any prior to DWI, and then does she have a license?
Prior DWIs, her license is eligible.
You said,
It is eligible.
right, but no prior to
No
DWI?
prior.
Okay. Mr. Ray Cosby, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. I'm ordering you as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, it's not going to go well. I'm telling you now, I will test you 45 to 50 days from today. If you're still using, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? You are not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and car insurance in your name. That is also a condition of your bond as well. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, ma'am?
Sure.
You want to apply for an appointed lawyer?
Yes, please.
Okay. Deputy Miranda is going to give you an application. I'll have you fill it out. I'm going to have you sign a receipt, Victoria, and then we'll have you take a signature box, ma'am. Please. You are Rafael Garcia.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Garcia, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 23rd, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle traveling at a very high rate of speed. The officer was unable to get its exact speed, but based on his training and experience and the fact that the vehicle rapidly passed other vehicles, determined that the vehicle was well above the 35 miles per hour posted speed limit and a traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and observed an odor of an alcoholic beverage on his breath and person and watery eyes. The defendant admitted to drinking a mixed drink at a party earlier in the evening, and SFSTs were conducted. It was a 6 out of 6 on the HGN, a 0 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 0 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read, but the defendant refused to provide a specimen and a blood warrant was signed.
Okay. Any prior to DWIs, and does he have a license?
No prior DWIs, his license is ineligible.
Eligible.
Ineligible.
Mr. Garcia, you're not allowed to drive. You do not have a Texas driver license. That is a condition of your bond. If I find that you drive, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You're also not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using alcohol or illegal drugs, likewise, you will go to jail. No more PR bonds. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
This is an affidavit that you're going to sign with me today, that you're promising me you're not going to drive. Heed this warning. If I find that you drive and you can't justify it by any means whatsoever, if I find that you do, it's really not going to go well for you. I can have a contempt hearing and you'll be facing 6 months in jail every time you drive. Do you understand? If you want to drive, go get a license, get car insurance, and I will do backflips letting you drive. But until that point, if I find that you do, get ready. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
We're going to give you time. I'll have you come up here, swear to us you're not going to drive, and get you to Victoria Center reset. You'll get with pretrial, and then you're out of here. Mr. Herrera, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. This case is 143 days. You mind reading what happened, please? So you were given a general order bond. Looks like you took on, it looks like we did probable cause, I'm assuming. I found probable cause at the time. We ordered you not to drive, and then I guess went AWOL. You've now made a surety bond. So yeah, do you mind reminding me what happened, please?
On November 5th, 2025, a traffic stop was conducted on the defendant's motor vehicle after it was observed that he had expired registration. Upon contact with the defendant, the officer observed watery bloodshot eyes and the odor of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant admitted
He's driving. Oh, I mean, this is this case,
prior.
because he just picked up a felony, I see.
Yes, it was a PC.
So I guess, yeah, go forward with this one, and then I want to know what happened in the felony.
Absolutely. The defendant admitted to drinking a can of an empty Budweiser that was found on the passenger floorboard. SFSTs were conducted. It was a 2 out of 6 on the HGN, a 6 out of 8 on the walk and turn, and a 1 out of 4 on the one leg stand. The DIC was read and the defendant consented to breath, but provided unacceptable samples. The defendant then consented to blood and a blood draw was conducted. And we do have the results of that blood.
You do or do not?
We do.
Okay.
And it came back for 0.05 of ethanol as well as methamphetamine and amphetamine and THC.
Okay, what happened in the felony?
Yes, Your Honor.
Please.
There we go. On March 22nd, 2025, the officer observed a vehicle displaying a fictitious buyer's tag and a traffic stop was initiated. The defendant, the driver, provided a Texas driver's license and warrant checks, provided a Texas driver's license, and the warrant check revealed an outstanding warrant, which led to his arrest, and that would be the DWI. During the inventory search of the defendant's property at Pasadena jail, officers found a clear zip bag containing a white crystal-like substance identified as methamphetamine, which weighed 0.87 grams.
I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system as of right now. If you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, I'm going to revoke your bond and make it so high you will have hair falling out. Do you understand, Mr. Hara? And the next time you miss court, likewise, your bond will reach the clouds. Do you understand?
Sir.
Take your seat for me. Good morning, Mr. Juarez. Sir, you're charged with criminal mischief. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 22nd, 2025, officers were dispatched at around 2 a.m. to a burglary in progress call at 2717 Stony Brook Drive, apartment number 411 in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed the defendant to be sticking his head through a broken apartment window from the outside of the apartment. The complainant stated that the defendant began banging on her door and window, trying to get inside. The complainant stated that she had no idea who the defendant is and she had never seen him before. The defendant then broke the apartment window with his right fist and appeared to be trying to get inside the apartment. The complainant stated that she was scared for her and her children, who were also inside the apartment.
And it's a mischief?
The complainant stated that the damage was $100. The officer observed the window to be broken and the defendant had cuts and blood on his right hand from breaking the window, and there was also blood on.
You were you're not charged with a series of felonies. Mr. Juarez, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case, and I'm now going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know where you are at all times, and I'm giving you a curfew. If I find that you're a danger to my community, I only have one place for you. Do you understand? You are not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. I'm sending you now for a drug test. I want to know what, if anything, is in your system. If you fail to go test, if you fail to come back, I will revoke your bond. Do you understand? You're not to be in possession of any weapons. You're not to go anywhere near where these people live, work at all.
The court's information, there should be it looks like the complaint in all these cases were on the same street that this mischief happened on.
Any connection, you think?
The defendant did state on the scene that he believed that he was at a different apartment on Dunleavy and wanted his mom to let him inside. Explains anything, Your Honor.
Regardless, I'm going to send it for a test now. I want to see what, if anything, was in his system.
Here, I was just more of a follow.
Guys, on everything, waive the fees for everything, please. I'm going to send you for a test now. Come back. Do you understand? If you don't test, if you don't come back, it's not going to go well for you. Take a seat for me. You literally pled guilty, not 10 days ago, and now you're back again. You now stand charged with the offense of fleeing a police officer. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 20th, 2025, officers were conducting an active patrol at the 15,300 block of Corona Del Mar Drive in Harris County, Texas, and observed a black GMC Sierra traveling at a high rate of speed in a residential neighborhood. The motor vehicle attempted to slow down once they noticed the marked patrol vehicle by hitting the brakes. At that point, the officer observed a defective taillight. The officer quickly turned on emergency lights and sirens to attempt a traffic stop. The motor vehicle failed to signal, making a right-hand turn and continued driving while the officer was behind the vehicle with lights and sirens. The defendant continued driving approximately half a mile at speeds ranging from 10 to 20 miles per hour in a residential neighborhood. The defendant disregarded 2 stop signs and then
How fast in the residential neighborhood, did you say?
Sorry,
How fast?
10 to 20 miles per hour. A defendant disregarded 2 stop signs and then parked his motor vehicle in front of his residence and opened the motor vehicle door. The defendant was then detained. He stated that he was coming home when asked why he did not stop and was identified by his passport.
So no license?
There is no driver's license on file.
Mr. Melendez, you're not allowed to drive. If you do not have a Texas driver license and you don't have liability insurance, you're not allowed to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising you're not going to drive. I don't care what you need to do in life. If you don't have either, both, and permission from us, do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Since the 10 days, you put your arms down. Since the last 10 days that you were here, what have you done to change your life? What better have you done?
So I'm always going to school. Right now, I'm doing a job, Chick-fil-A.
That is now a condition. You must do one of either, in school or a job. I'm going to appoint your lawyer today, and I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done. If you've done nothing, it's not going to go well. You understand? All right. I'll have you sign a reset. I'm going to have you take a seat in the jury box. So you're on bond for an interference and a failure to ID from November. A month later, you pick up a criminal trespass. And now you pick up a 4th case, another criminal trespass. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 17th, 2025, an officer was made aware by Voyager Apartment Complex, courtesy officer that the defendant was trespassing on the property. The officer stated that he observed the defendant walking in the hallway of the property and due to previous encounters, knew the defendant to have a criminal trespass warning from the property. The defendant was detained. The defendant has had numerous criminal trespass warnings from the location and a recent arrest for criminal trespass due to being on the location. He was identified with his Texas driver's license.
Was this the same trespass as the prior one?
Same location, Your Honor.
Same location?
Your Honor, am I able to speak for that?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put an ankle monitor on you so I know where you are at all times. You're not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs, and I'm also giving you a curfew. If I find that you're out in the middle of the night, if I find that you go anywhere near this, I'm going to take all your bonds now, and I will triple, quadruple. Do you understand? I'm going to protect my city at all costs. You not have 4 open cases. You have made bond on those cases. If they give you a PR bond, but I'm telling you now, you pick up a 5th case, I'm going to make your bond so high you'll have teeth falling. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Tell me about the interference, please.
Yes, Judge. So on November 26, 2024, an officer heard a verbal disturbance in a parking lot while patrolling on foot in an apartment complex. The officer made contact with the defendant and a female. The officer attempted to identify the defendant, who refused to identify himself and stated, "I'm not identifying myself." The officer is
Same complex.
Let me check.
Yes, sir.
Stop.
Yes, Your Honor. Same comment.
I don't want you to go within 1,000 feet of this apartment complex. Do you understand? I have a monitor that I'm going to put on your ankle today. If it dings anywhere near there, I don't care what your excuse is. It's not going to go well for you. Your cases are now from November of 24. It is way too much drama for me. So you will get a lawyer today, and in 30 days, is discovery complete on the cases from 24? It's way too much drama. I'm ready to set these all for trial.
Discovery is complete on the interference, Your Honor. And
Very good.
discovery is also complete for the previous criminal trespass.
Get ready. I'm fast tracking this trial, 30 days.
Yep.
So I'm gonna appoint him a lawyer today. I'm gonna have him take a seat in the jury box, have him meet with the lawyer. 30 days it gets set for trial. You're not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, likewise, it won't go well for you. You understand? All right, come on. Good morning, Mr. Nguyen. You speak English?
Yeah.
Mr. Nguyen, you're charged with reckless driving. You're facing up to 30 days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 21st, 2025, an officer was traveling southbound on Grand Way. The officer was driving 80 miles per hour in a 75-mile-per-hour zone. He then witnessed the defendant operating a motor vehicle pass him and pass him from the improved shoulder. The officer followed the defendant and witnessed the defendant change lanes when unsafe, drive on the shoulder, follow other vehicles too closely, drive without lights when required, and pass on a no passing zone, disregarding the safety of others.
Okay. Mr. Lynn, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. Can you run his license, please? Do you have a license? As a condition of your bond, I'm ordering you not to drive like this anymore. If I find that you do, I will revoke your bond, put you in jail. Do you understand?
His driver's license is eligible.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance as well as a Texas driver license. Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, Mr. Nguyen? How old are you?
18.
Okay. We'll provide you a lawyer today. You will be signing bond conditions. I'm telling you now, jail sucks. At 18, if you end up going to jail, they will have a field day with you. Do you understand? I'm not asking much, but if I find that you make my streets unsafe anyway, it really will not go well for you. Okay? I'll have you sign a receipt. We'll have you. I got no more room.
I'll do second match.
Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to detect you where to go. No, don't worry about it. Do not leave until you sign our bond conditions. Do you mind filing that? No reckless driving, racing, street takeovers, donuts, etc. Please. Good morning, sir. So you're charged with the offense of falsifying drug test results. You are facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 22nd, 2025, an officer while assigned to the Harris County Toll Road Authority DWI Task Force observed a vehicle traveling 87 miles per hour in a 65-mile-per-hour zone. The officer observed a traffic stop was initiated, and the officer observed the strong odor of marijuana, and the defendant stated he personally smoked marijuana earlier that day. The defendant offered to allow the officer to search his vehicle for marijuana. The officer conducted a probable cause search of the vehicle and located a firearm. The officer also found a liquor flask-sized opaque plastic bottle in the glove box with a temperature sensing strip on the top containing a yellow liquid. The defendant stated he purchased the bottle so that he would not fail a drug test to get a job.
Any open cases?
No open cases, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Onikidi, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. Sir, do you have the ability to hire a lawyer?
I actually have a lawyer. I'm surprised it's not here.
You do have a lawyer. Let me see if any documents have been filed. Do you guys see anything? Are they going to, who,
What'd you say?
are they, you've hired them?
Yeah, I did hire them a couple of days ago.
Are they,
They said
they
they will
told
show
you they
you.
would be here?
That's going to.
Who is?
He's from Gilligan I don't really,
Say Gilligan?
Yeah.
I guess let's do this. I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond. Well, hold on a second. Does he have a license?
He does, it is eligible, Your Honor.
You're not allowed to drive unless you have a valid Texas driver license and liability insurance in your name. Do you understand? That is a condition of your bond. I guess I'll have you sign a reset now. We'll have you take a seat. It's still kind of early. We'll wait to see if they come. Do you have a phone number?
Yeah,
Maybe you
can
can
I
go
call
call them and see if they'll come, and then we can address your, but don't leave until we excuse you, okay? All right, please.
Judge, that's Dave.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, guys. Hey, welcome. So all you guys are students?
Yes, sir.
Hey, where?
Third grade.
Are you in law school or undergrad?
Law school.
Fantastic. So great. You're 3L. Oh, great. Everybody else, 1 or 2 L's?
2 L's.
Wow. You're entering into a profession.
Oh, yeah.
There's no better profession than being a lawyer. I tell you what, and I give this example a lot. I have a friend of mine that just got a judgment for $350 million. And then like 2 months later, he got another one for like 40 million. If you treat the law well, it will pay off in dividends. But you got to treat it well.
Yeah.
Study hard, do your diligence, make sure you know the law, and more importantly, know the judge. Because you've got to know your audience and you got to know who you're working with as far as whether you're a plaintiff's lawyer, whether you're a defense lawyer, whether you're doing contracts, whether you're doing whatever it may be. And even if you don't, practice law, become a lawyer. The amount of information that you learn from just going through law school, it's amazing. No one can mess with you when you know things. And I try to impart that to every single person that comes here, school, because no one can take you for a ride when you know stuff. I'm so proud of you guys. That's so great. So do you guys know what you want to do after when you graduate?
Still deciding.
Yeah, still deciding.
Come work for the DA's office. Yeah, work for the DA's office. They're always hiring people. You get no better trial experience. When you come work here for the DA's office, you're literally, I remember coming to work here, boom, you're in trial the next week. It's just trial by ambush. There's no better way than to just really start doing trials. And there's no faster way than in criminal law and work in the DA's office. I would encourage, if you don't know what you want to do, because there you get a sense of what you like, what you don't like. And so where are you guys going now?
Appeal, we're going to appeals court.
Are you going to hear arguments?
Yes.
Great. Where are they going? Where are you guys going?
I'm gonna go back down I'm in domestic violence division. I'm gonna go back down and check on my IDs if they need help, but they just wanted to see if it's happening.
So we try cases on Tuesdays, and I think that we have with today's Ramona. I think we may have a trial. Do we know if we have a trial next week? We have trials. We try what I would say Tuesdays when we do voir dire, and then Wednesdays when we start testimony. You can always reach out to Victoria, our coordinator, and she can tell you whether we're in trial or not. And if we are, and I also Zoom. So you can always catch everything through Zoom. So you don't even have to come here. Just hop on Zoom. And we YouTube as well, so that everybody in the entire world gets to see what we do. Because I think it's just education is just the best thing, and we try to educate everyone. And we do that by putting everything online so that everybody can see what we do every day.
Right.
Everything's transparent, and it's no better way to educate, You guys, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
6 trials set next week. So if you want to come,
Good, that's really good.
you can come watch or you can watch online.
Okay.
Either way, at your leisure,
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Guys, I'm so proud of you. Great
Thank you.
job.
Thanks for letting us watch.
Fantastic.
Have a good
Oh,
day.
Anytime.
Judge, I'm approaching on Tammy Johnson. She is in custody at the moment.
What part are you in?
Did you get that, Judge? Tammy Johnson.
Yes.
So her bond is set currently at $1,001. She doesn't have any ability to make bond. From kind of going through the procedural background of the case, it sounds like she'd gotten a GOB bond originally about a year ago.
Wow, she's been gone that long.
Well, did not come to a court setting and have a chance to meet you, Judge. And so, because had she have gotten an admonishment from you, she'd have certainly attended. She does not have- Well,
Can you bring up Ms. Johnson, please?
she does not have any criminal history, and this is kind of a DWI. I've chatted with them briefly about it, but the allegation is that the police found her asleep in a parked vehicle at a gas station, and with the car in park, but they say on.
I've
So-
done the research. We had this issue not a week ago, and I'm telling you,
Well, it's sufficient from a legal sufficiency standpoint. It can stand, but what do jurors think?
I combed through like 20 cases. Give me a second. Stephen. Hey, hi, Stephen. Hey, I'm in the middle of talking. Give me maybe like 10 minutes. I'll call you right back, huh? No, it's okay. I'm super excited to talk to you. Give me 10, huh? Okay, bye. We did the diligence as far as that argument is concerned. My only concern now is that she's been gone for how long? But for this, she would still be wherever she is, right?
Well, she's got a kind of difficult financial situation. She's got family, but she's talked to her family and doesn't have the ability to make even what would be roughly paying $150 to get.
Right.
And, but she's 43 with no criminal history. She's got 2 children that she successfully raised to their young adults.
Come up, ma'am. You were Tammy Johnson. How's jail? How's jail?
Different, Judge.
Why do we have jails?
Criminals off the street, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good reason for sure. Why else?
Judge, she knows.
To make sure you come back. And when you don't, the sentences get longer, the bars get colder. Just, that when you fail to appear, your bond's at $1,000 right now. So all that needs is $100 and you're out. $125, you're out. You now know that you have no one to pony up that kind of money. No one to pony up that kind of money to get you out. Mr. Garris is asking me to let you out. The only reason you're here now is because you got busted. Otherwise, you'd still be out who knows where. Why would we let you out? You tell me.
She wants to move forward and deal appropriately with the case, and the state has given me quite a bit in the way of discovery to review. And as with any type of blood case, there's probably going to be more that we venture out to seek, but it'd be obviously sometime. We talked about it. The idea that these can take 6 months, 7 months to even get ready to see if it's a viable case for trial.
Therein lies the problem where, ma'am, you sit now in custody until the case is either pled, you're in trial, or somehow gets disposed of. That could take 6 months. Where have you been?
I'm trying to get my life together.
Judge, she's worked for a long time as a waitress and is living, and she's living kind of difficult situation at the moment. So it's experienced bouts of homelessness but now has a more stable situation. She has the ability to get to court and will be here. That's the representation we're making to the court. And I think we can do short resets if you'd like.
Mr. Garris, I never want to leave someone in custody, but one of my primary concerns also is not putting someone out on the street. And I'm telling you now, I'm willing to give you another chance, but I'm not going to put you out on the street if you ain't got nowhere else to go.
She does now. She's living she has a motel that she's living in now, kind of temporary housing.
Yes, it's permanent. It's been for a
I
while.
don't believe that for a second. Who do you have in your life that's willing to take you in?
I've got that information, Judge.
Before I had no one, but now I do.
But he just doesn't financially have the ability to.
The only thing that's changed between now and then is you got arrested. Ms. Johnson, the last thing I want is you to be put on the street where you look like you're going to start using again, because I don't want you to use. If I were to drug test you now, what are you going to test positive for?
Any discussion about that?
Here's the drug. I'm going to drug test you like crazy. And if I find that you're using, then I'm going to keep you. And I'm not going to play this game. You can't even look at me in the eye.
Drugs aren't a problem.
Stop talking. Don't. Okay, at this point, Judge, I'm going to admonish my.
It's okay. That's all right.
So
where do you have to go?
Judge, let me answer all the questions. She lives in a motel, stable situation, can make her way back to court. And you can do short resets and we'll be here. And that's the understanding that we've talked about and I think would be appropriate at this time would be to give her a chance to come in, and obviously we'll comport with all the requirements that this court installs. And if we have to do testing, we'll do that. And
let me make something perfectly clear to you, Ms. Johnson. I don't like it when people plead guilty just to plead guilty to get out. I'm not down with that. And we're not going to play that game here. So if I let you out, I expect several things from you. Number one, that you're not going to endanger my public. That's the first and foremost. Number two, that you're not using alcohol and or illegal drugs. And I'm telling you, I'm going to test you like crazy. If you can't stop on your own, then we will do it my way. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it. Do you understand?
Sure.
Number three, if you don't have a license and liability insurance, you are not allowed to drive. Do you have a Texas driver license? Then you will be signing with me today an affidavit. This is a promise you're making to me that you're not going to drive. And I don't care if Jesus needs to ride to church. You get into a car and drive. I can have a contempt hearing and you'll be facing 6 months every time you drive. Do you understand? Do you want me to give you a PR bond? Can you stop using?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to let you out and I'm going to have you come back here on Tuesday. And I want you to test on me on Tuesday. And I want to know for sure. You got to understand. You've played Monopoly, right? What do you get in Monopoly to get out of jail? What do you get? You get a get out of jail free card, right? This is the only one you're going to get. You're not going to get another one. You understand? So I will let you out now, but I expect you to comport and comply with conditions. And that's it. I'm not asking for much. I'm just asking you to be sober and come back to court and stay in touch with counsel. That's all.
thank you, Judge.
Of course. Now, we will set her for Tuesday. She got to come back here Tuesday.
Yes.
You don't come back, a warrant will issue, and we're going to just play the 6-month waiting game while you're there. Because I'm telling you, I don't accept pleas just to get out of jail. All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
She can't go yet, though. We need her to sign conditions with, yeah. Mr. Gamble, Mr. Payton,
Sir.
gentlemen, both of you are charged with cases in here. Both of you are charged with unlawful carrying of a weapon. You are facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You know, looking at your information, I see that Mr. Payton, both of you guys, and Mr. Gamble are also charged with aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. However, your felony bond was $10,000 and yours was $70,000. I don't understand why. We will soon find out. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you. Okay.
On November 7th, 2024, the officer conducted a traffic stop on a motor vehicle after observing it violate Texas Transportation Code 547.602, which requires mirrors. and the officer confirmed 5 traffic citations. The driver was placed into custody for those citations, and the defendant, Peyton, was sitting in the front passenger seat where a black extended magazine was observed in plain view between the defendant's feet. Defendants 1 and 2, the second defendant being Gamble, were both detained, and a probable cause search revealed a black backpack found to be concealing 2 semi-automatic pistols with a loaded round in the chamber, not in a concealed holster, and within the wingspan of both defendants, as well as 37.8 grams of marijuana.
Tell me about the ag rob.
So the ag rob for Mr.
The
Peyton,
defendants, same day on 11/8.
I just want to confirm, Your Honor. It looks like the ag robs are different days. For Peyton, it's July 27th, and then for Mr. Gamble, it's August 26th. So they're 2 separate incidents for aggravated robbery. So to begin with Mr. Peyton, the aggravated robbery on July 27th, an officer was dispatched to a robbery at a vape time store, and the complainant said an unmasked defendant came inside the store, and the complainant buzzed him into the door. The defendant looked around and then walked to the door and let 3 other masked men into the store. One of the 3 men pointed a gun to the left side of the complainant's neck, and then the other 3 men took money and merchandise before running from the door. The surveillance video showed the incident and showed defendants leaving in a silver Kia sedan. Officers were able to trace the sedan back to a co-defendant. They were also able to see that the Kia had been involved in a prior traffic stop. In that stop, the passenger of the car was viewed in the officer body-worn camera. That person was the unmasked first person who entered the store and let the other 3 men into the store before helping take cash and merchandise. And to move on to yes.
There were multiple, I think it was this defendant, Mr. Gamble, was one of 5 suspects robbing vape stores. And there are multiple incidents of the robbery. So we can certainly read PC Judge, which is very long, but we're happy to read it.
Is it the same MO where it's in, I mean, are we talking about just like an enterprise type situation? Like an engaging and organized? Okay.
So
I'm just, I get, my question is, I want to know how dangerous these guys are, and obviously we've got ag robs on both of them, perhaps even multiple stops of ag robs. So Mr. Peyton, I'm going to find that there's probably some. Now putting an ankle monitor on you, and I want to know where you are at all times. And I'm giving you a curfew of 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. I don't want you out in the middle of the night, and I'm barring you from going to any, just got to be careful in this life, man. You got but one. You end up with the wrong person. You hang with dogs to get those fleas. You're going to end up with a 40-year sentence back there. And I'm going to tell you now, living in a 6x9 for 40 years is no way to live life. You know what I mean? It's not. I'm also ordering you not to be in possession of weapons, not to consume alcohol or illegal drugs. If I find that you're smoking weed, you're using anything like that, I'm going to put you in jail. I'll deem you a public danger, and I'm going to make your bond so freaking high. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
17.
What do you do for a living?
I'm employed right now.
Why?
I'm trying to get my.
I'm now making that a condition of your bond as well. You and I are going to be so close, it's going to be ridiculous. I am making it a condition of your bond that you get your GED, and I'm going to bring you back in 2 weeks to see what you have done to get your GED. You need to start working on it. We have enough people in custody as it is, and what you do now will affect you for the next 40 years of your life. You start acting like a knucklehead out there, you're either going to be dead or with a 50-year sentence, and that's not a way to go through life. Do you understand? I will appoint you a lawyer today.
And Your Honor, in regard to Gamble, it appears that the bond may be higher as officers presented the facts of both the current case as well as a separate case that's unfiled. It's an HPD case to which the defendant confessed to also being involved. So it seems there's also an ongoing investigation.
Do we know who put the gun to the neck?
It was the defendant as well, defendant Gamble.
Gamble?
And he also put a gun to the complainant's face as they were stealing marijuana and other items.
You hear everything I just said over there, Mr. Gamble? Same thing applies to you, man. We have enough black and brown people in custody as it is. We don't need any more. You don't need to live life with a 40-year sentence because of some stupid scheisse, man. You know? Do you know if you're gonna bond out?
I'm gonna be talking to this moderator, Judge. So
Okay,
we'll have
if
to-
you bond out, I'm ordering you under home confinement. I don't want you out anywhere. Do you understand? You will get a GPS monitor on your ankle, no weapons. I don't want you to talk with any of the co-defendants in any of these cases. I don't want you two hanging out with each other at all. You know, you may be great guys by yourselves, but when you're together, perhaps it's a Tasmanian devil. No thanks. We don't want it. I'm going to tell you both of you now. I will do everything in my power to protect my Houston at all costs. And I don't care if you put you in jail at 17 and you're kicking and screaming and this. No. Do you understand?
Sir.
You were lucky to get out as it is on this type of charge, as it just count your lucky stars now, Mr. Payton.
Sir.
All right. So,
Is a felony pending until, Secretary Judge will roll it.
for sure. And then, Felicia,
Yes, Judge.
so GPS prior to release on Mr. Gamble, no weapons, no alcohol, no drugs, random urinalysis. Did you graduate from high school?
Yes, he did.
You did? Okay. All right, John. So I guess we'll stay in touch with Mr. Gamble. All right, Mr. Gamble, good luck. We'll just keep us in the loop about what goes on. Mr. Payton, I'm keeping you ever so close. I'm not letting you go far. Do you understand? Okay. I need him to fill out an application. Do you mind giving an application? I'm going to give you an application for an appointed lawyer. I'm going to have you sign a receipt of Victoria, and then I'm going to have you meet with Felicia for your bond conditions. Then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box. Yeah, correct. All of them.